All right, picture this. You, an intrepid adventurer armed with nothing but a spacesuit, an unhealthy level of curiosity, and, most importantly, a selfie stick. You're floating in the endless darkness of space, drifting toward the most feared and fascinating object in the universe, a black hole. Your plan? Simple. Jump in. Capture the moment. Post it to Instagram. Possibly get the most likes in the history of social media, assuming Wi-Fi exists inside a black hole, which, spoiler alert, it doesn't. Let's start with the basics. A black hole is not actually a hole in the sense that you could climb out of it with a ladder. It's more like an infinitely deep pit in space-time, where gravity is so intense that not even light can escape. Astronomers measure their size using something called the event horizon, the point of no return. Cross that line, and you're done. No takebacks, no refunds. Even light itself says, yeah, nope, and doesn't come back out. And here you are, aiming to cross it with a selfie stick. Approaching the black hole, you'd notice something strange. The stars behind you would start to distort, like a cosmic funhouse mirror. Light bends around the hole due to gravitational lensing, and the whole sky would twist into a surreal whirlpool of streaked stars and warped galaxies. This is actually the perfect time for a selfie because you'd get this insane background effect that no filter could ever match. Your followers might think it's Photoshop. It's not. It's the universe literally bending around you. But the closer you get, the weirder things become. Time starts to slow down, at least from the perspective of someone watching you from a safe distance. To them, it looks like you're moving slower and slower, almost frozen in place at the edge of the event horizon. They might be screaming at their screens, "Why isn't he moving?" Meanwhile, from your perspective, everything is normal, until it's not. Because once you cross the event horizon, physics as we know it goes from relatively understandable to complete chaos. Inside, you'll be introduced to a charming phenomenon called spaghettification. This is where your feet, being closer to the black hole's center than your head, feel more gravitational pull. That difference stretches you like warm mozzarella cheese on a fresh pizza. You won't even have time to say #blackhole_vibes before you're an interstellar noodle. Your selfie stick won't fare much better. It'll stretch right along with you. On the plus side, you'd finally be tall enough to reach the top shelf at the grocery store, if grocery stores existed in here. Now, you might be wondering, couldn't I just take the selfie and throw my phone back out before I get destroyed? Unfortunately, no. Anything inside the event horizon is doomed to go deeper in. You could throw your phone as hard as you like, but in here, away always points toward the singularity, the infinitely small, infinitely dense core of the black hole. Imagine trying to run uphill while the hill is made of gravity, and you're wearing boots made of lead. It's not going to happen. What about the photo itself? Well, it would be weird. Outside the black hole, your light would still escape until the very moment you crossed the event horizon. But the closer you got, the more your image would stretch, warp, and redshift. That means you'd fade from visible light into infrared, then into microwaves, until you basically disappeared from view. Anyone watching would see your selfie turn from fun adventure into blurry red smudge before vanishing completely. So your epic Instagram post would never actually arrive. Which is a shame, because Number Space Noodle could have gone viral. Here's the wild part. What happens to you after you pass the event horizon is still a mystery. Some scientists think you'd inevitably be destroyed at the singularity. Others suggest the inside of a black hole might be connected to a different region of the universe, or even another universe entirely, through something like a wormhole. Imagine jumping in, screaming your head off, then suddenly popping out somewhere in a galaxy you've never seen before, holding a very confused selfie stick. Would you be the first tourist in an alien star system? Maybe. Would you survive the trip? Probably not. And then there's Hawking radiation, the slow leak of energy that causes black holes to eventually evaporate over trillions of years. If you somehow survived being spaghettified, dodged the singularity, and managed to hang out inside for that long, without food, water, or Netflix, you might just find yourself spat back into the universe when the black hole disappears. But by then, civilizations would have risen and fallen, languages would be unrecognizable, and your selfie stick would be an ancient relic worthy of a museum. So, could you jump into a black hole with a selfie stick? Technically, yes. But it's a one-way trip with zero chance of posting your selfie. You get a front row seat to the strangest, most extreme physics in the cosmos, followed by an immediate and extremely thorough death. The black hole doesn't care if you're an influencer. It doesn't care about your hashtags, your subscriber count, or how many times you practiced your surprised face in the mirror. Once you're in, you're in. If there's a lesson here, it's this. Sometimes the best adventures are the ones you don't take. Or at least, the ones you don't take into a bottomless pit of space-time where the laws of physics go on vacation. But hey, if you do decide to try it, make sure to smile. The universe is watching, right up until you disappear.